Hey everybody. Hi Jeannie girl. Yay, new subscribers. I love it. I really wanted to get on here today and be silly with y'all, but Spirit was like, no, we have some serious things to talk about. I was talking to some people the other day and I didn't even notice that they were like light workers that just really didn't know who they were. So I definitely want to get on here and just talk about what it's like to be a light worker, to see if maybe this is you. You may be that person that really needs this message today. I generally don't wake up with heavy messages on me like this. So I felt like, hey, this might be an opportunity to really talk to y'all and do some tarot surrounding this. But I have always been a person that loved and hated people. I really love working with people. I love helping them get unstuck and help them solve their problems. But because I'm also empathic, it's difficult to really be around people for long periods of time because I can hear what they really feel. I can sense what they really mean when they're talking. I can tell when they're lying. Jeannie girl is like, same. It's difficult. And you know, we've all of us light workers, and they say light workers really began coming through here in like the 80s for sure. Like strong stream of us came through starting in like the 80s, the last maybe 5 years of the 70s on. And a lot of us have come to this point where we're like, I know that I'm supposed to be working with people and helping people and pushing people towards light, but I can't stand people. You love people, but you can't really be around large groups of people, or can't. It's hard to like maintain relationships because it just seems like, oh my gosh, how can I find someone that is as sincere as I am? I'm a what you see is what you get as person. But also, I can't deny that whenever I walk into a room, the atmosphere changes. I can't deny that people are just almost drunkenly drawn to my energy. That it's just something about me that makes people want me. My light is so strong that I pull in all manner of people. Hi, Jalen. I pull in all manner of people. But just because you're drawing people in by that light doesn't necessarily mean that everybody you pull in is going to be for your highest good. So thus comes the lesson of the light worker, of how to create stronger boundaries in your life. And now you're standing here looking at the world, kind of panicking because you can feel all of the intrepidation and fear coming in. You can actually feel the unrest, and it's making you feel like, what am I actually here to do? How can I be effective during this time? How can I actually use my light to be effective? And this is why I'm on YouTube right now. Because I felt like one of the ways that I could lift the vibration of the planet and do my work as a light worker is to just be present and to be visible and to use my gifts to help people overcome things that they're struggling with. One of the things that I find very interesting is when I do reads on what cycles you're stuck in. Like, what cycles are you stuck in? So today, what I'm going to do a tarot read. And we're going to do like, hey, what cycles are we dealing with? And I'm not going to do it by sign. I'm not going to do it by any other thing other than community. I'm going to use the collective energy and speak to somebody in particular. So that means that Spirit is going to bring to me energy that is most prevalent, or somebody or a group of people who are going to come onto this live today at some point and they're going to see this video and be like, oh my God, that is the cycle that I'm struggling with, and this is how I can get through it. So we're going to talk today about what cycles you might be stuck in, and I'm also going to use some animal spirit cards to read through maybe like what energy spirit needs for you to be in during this time. This is a timeless read. This is not about a particular time frame, or it's not about a particular sign, but this is about what cycles you're struggling to get through. And so I'm going to get one animal spirit card, and I'm going to put down some The Universe Has Your Back cards, and we'll put those down before we start doing the read to see your special messages at the end. And I know that this is for you. Whoever you are, this message is for you. My nose is itching. I'm getting the I Dream of Jeannie ass itch. You know what I'm saying? So I know that this is for you for sure. I don't know what that is. Somebody said it's called the witch itch. Do we get the witch itch when we start doing cards and tarot? Because I do. My whole face start itching when spirit shows up and when it's time for me to start reading. Thank you to our benevolent ancestors and guides and source energy. Thank you to the spirits of the love and the light who come to love on us and give us messages of hope. One day I'm going to do a video and get in depth about the Lightworker situation. We'll probably kick back one Saturday or something. I'm going to do a short question and answer at the end for a $5 donation. If you want to ask a question, look in the description. All right, I got my three message cards. If I don't get any orders, then I'm just going to go ahead and conclude at the end. Oh, and then I'm going to do the angel message cards. But if you want to ask a question, you can do so for a $5 donation. Okay. All right. Thank you, Spirit. What cycles? This is for you. I don't know who you are. I don't know why Spirit brought you to me. But this message is for you, honey, or whoever you are. What cycles are we struggling in right now? For the collective, what cycles? Okay. I got 3 cards on the board. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. So right off the bat, I see that some people are dealing with some heartbreak from the past. One thing that people don't realize is that most of our trauma, not all of them, of course, but the onset of trauma generally, the kind of trauma that affects the way we move through life, right? The kind of trauma that co-creates our life in a way that's destructive in a way, but we don't always know what's happening. It's like, how is this happening in my life? How am I creating this trauma and this drama over and over and over and over again? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're going through this 0 to 7 hurt. Usually the trauma occurs between 0 and 7 years of age, when our brains are like in bypass mode, when we're just learning how to function and move in the world, and we're learning what mom does, what dad does, what I do, how I get in trouble, how I get praised, and things like that. Spirit is saying that some of the cycles you're dealing with are from the past, and they just keep coming up over and over again. It's something that left you heartbroken, some type of heartbreak. For it to be the sword card, to me, the swords are about the mind and how a person thinks, how a person puts together their thoughts. So this is definitely something from your past that just keeps coming up over and over again, and it's changing the way that you think and you process your world. Spirit is also advising that you look at the details. This is someone who is working on themselves or just kind of like working at a task, but they're paying attention to the fine lines. You see, he's actually hammering in the divots in one of the pentacles. So this is someone who needs to pay close attention to the details, to the signs, to these little things that you're like, every time you've ever said to yourself, why do I keep going through this shit? Or here we go again. You have, listen, you have basically identified a cycle happening in your life right now. Spirit is asking you to release. Okay, so this is the card of Aquarius. So maybe you're an air sign, but this is the sign of Aquarius. And Spirit is just asking you to release these heavy emotions, to find a way to release them. So let's ask Spirit how. How do we release these negative emotions in our lives? How do we release? You talk about them. First of all, you have to make sure that you are being proactive at identifying what they are. Look at these emotions. Look at these emotions. We got the Moon card. We got the Devil card. And we got the Five of Pentacles. So we have like confusion, not really knowing what's happening. You are totally unaware. You are totally unaware of what exactly is taking place at this time. It's like, what's happening? I don't understand. Like, why am I going through the same thing over and over and over again? And the Devil card is identifying it's identifying toxic things that you are bound to. You see this chain, like a literal ball and chain and shit. This is some stuff that you are maybe dealing with. It could be addiction. It could be toxic relationships, whether it be romantic or friendships. It could be familial toxic relationships. Whatever it is, ultimately at this time, usually when you get a bit older and you've been living a toxic life or been in a toxic relationship, or you have a toxic family, you generally break away from it. And that's what Spirit is showing. You kind of feeling disenfranchised because you definitely can't go back the way that you came. And this is for somebody specific. You're feeling like, I can't go back the way that I came because there's too much toxicity there. You know what I mean? Again, this could be a relationship. This could be your family. This could be home life. You know what I mean? But Spirit is really trying to encourage you here. Because I got the Six of Wands and I got the Justice card. I think Spirit is trying to even this out for you. So trying to bring you justice in this situation. The Six of Wands is the hero's return. This is someone who has been in battle, who, comes back from a really hard battle, and everyone is like noticing and recognizing you, being noticed for your bravery in a particular situation. Maybe this is you now coming out of the toxicity and the feeling of being disconnected from the things that you know and love, because that is what the Five of Pentacles is. It's this feeling of, I don't necessarily know where I belong anymore. I don't belong here, but I don't yet know where else I belong. And so with me seeing the Six of Wands and the Justice card, I feel like somebody is just now maybe stepping into this new world where people actually recognize you and appreciate you and see you for exactly who you are. But still, I see you in Moon energy, not really knowing, where you go from this point. It's like, okay, I made it out of this situation. Now what? So let's see. I see that you need to work on your communication For me to get the Page of Swords, it's like, now that I've come out of this toxicity, now that I've come through this battle, whatever it may have been, now that I took the time to deal with my broken heart, now that I'm recognizing my broken past, and now that I'm finally in a mind frame where I can focus on the details of my life, what now? You know, I've gone through the toxicities. I've gone through feeling alone, feeling by myself. This is a I'm alone in a crowded room person. This is somebody who could literally be in the midst of everyone and feel completely singular. I can have a million friends, but I'm always going to feel like it's just me. And I believe that has to also do with your gifts as a light worker. We are not from here. We are seated here. We were brought here. We decided to come here to raise the vibration of this planet because we are in the generation where all is getting ready to fall. We are in the all falls down ass generation, are we not? We are in a pole shift. We are in a continental drift. We are in an oceanic drift. Our government is getting ready to go from what we see today, democracy, into maybe some one world government shit. We're getting ready to lose islands in the sea. We are getting ready to have cracks into our planet that are going to fracture some locations that we love. You know what I mean? I mean, we are really in the midst of a shift so powerful that we were called here because people are going to need your light. People are going to need your gifts. And you came here, you went through so much just so that you could understand human nature. You went through this just so that you could understand what it's like to lose everything and then gain it back. You went through pure darkness so that you could exude pure light. Okay. And I know sometimes we can get in that place where we don't want to be here anymore, where it's just too much pressure. But that is why you need to turn inward. You need to go inward. You need to go inside and listen to your higher self, your oversoul, to source energy and connect to the collective so that you can understand what you need to do. The instructions are there. It's not out here, it's in here. So now you're at this point where you're trying to figure out, how do I communicate? How do I communicate my role here? How do I communicate to the world what my gifts are? What it is I'm actually here to do and help. This is for somebody in particular. This is for a number of you, for sure. It's not just for one person, but this is for a number of you light workers. The first thing you need to do is master kindness and compassion for the self. I got the Temperance card. The Temperance card always gives me this energy of pouring into your own cup, pouring into yourself, being kind and allowing the flow to happen in the spirit man, right? I really feel like you don't need to just be patient with the world. Understand that being a light worker is performing these acts on the self first so that you know how to pour it out into the world. So when I see the Temperance card coming out as a what do I do? How do I first begin to express my gifts and my light worker abilities to the world? And then I see the Temperance card. You have got to find some compassion for yourself. The worst thing about us is that we know on a deep, deep, deep level, good and evil and bad and things that are good and bad for us. But we judge ourselves so harshly. You know, it's like we can't do no right. Where the world at large kind of looks at us like we can't do no wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? And we're like judging ourselves. We are the judge and jury of self. So the first thing you need to do to express your light worker abilities is to show yourself compassion and some patience and stop being so hard on yourself. Aisha said this live came at the right time. Hey, Krista. Chrissy Lynn is on the line. Thank you, Pooh. I'm so glad you came. And, oh my goodness, look at what Spirit is asking you to do. This is for somebody. You need to find a way to frame your past in love. The Six of Cups, the Six of Cups is about nostalgia. It's about things and people from our past. So you have got to find the light in your past. You got to go to your past. After you have found a way to be compassionate and kind to yourself, now it's time to go into your past and coat your past, no matter how difficult it was. You have got to go into your past and find that good there. You have got to go into your past and find the light there, why you went through it, what it was all about, what you learned from it, and how you are going to carry that into your future with love and peace for somebody else. The light workers have a really uncanny ability to transmute. You know, it's an alchemical process that we go through. We literally transmute and transcend darkness into light. How can you know how to do that unless you know what darkness is like? How can you possibly transmute and transcend darkness in an alchemical spiritual process unless you understand how to get from the absolute darkest moment to the absolute lightest moment? How? If you talk to a light worker, somebody who, when they come into the room, the atmosphere changes, they bring joy and love and peace everywhere they go, right? When you talk to them and you start digging into their stories, you are amazed. Like, I cannot believe you exude this kind of light and you have been through this kind of darkness. So let me tell you, this is how you do it. You need to find a way to transcend, transmute, and, do an alchemical transition of your past. You have got to look at every area of your life, past and present, that has been dark, and find a way to create light there. And even if you can't, even if that moment was just too dark, there is still light there. You can still say to yourself, I survived one of the worst things I've ever been through, because you're still here. You are still present. You are still actively alive. You are still actively pushing through your worst moment. Okay? So take some time to transmute your past. And the other thing Spirit wants you to do is to hold yourself in high regard. You are not your past. You are not of those that hurt you. You are not your worst experience. You are not your deepest, darkest moment. You are not your rock bottom. You are you. You are a soul, an energy, an eternal being that decided to incarnate here to grow and to experience this realm. Okay? You actually have a reason, a very, very targeted reason why you decided to incarnate here. You need to figure out what makes you awesome. Hold yourself in high regard. The Empress card is a woman who is a person. I shouldn't, it's not about male or female, but this is someone who is poised, someone who holds themselves in high esteem. They take care of their bodies. They take care of themselves. They exude self-respect. Or at the very most, I shouldn't say least, but at the very most, they are just simply true to exactly who they are. Okay? The Empress does not give a fuck what people think about her. Okay? The Empress does not care how people project their fears onto them. Light workers are unusual, beautiful souls. Light workers are eclectic. They are specific. They have quirks. They have abnormalities or just something that always draw people to them because they're not like everybody else and they feel it on a deep cellular level. That creates that loneliness that you feel because you are so magnificent. It is not because you are just odd and terrible. If that were true, you would repel people instead of draw them in. You are magnificent. You are a magnificent being. And you're just trying to figure that out. It's overwhelming, even for you. I can go anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where I'm at. People will act like I can go in my own backyard and people act like I've just arrived. They've never seen me before. Where are you from? What's your name? Who are your people? Like they really act like I've not been here. That's because that it's not the flesh. It is the energy and the spirit that I'm in. It is my energy. It is what I came here to do. I'm still learning how to hold myself in high regard and to appreciate all those things that draw people to me, that make me hide. You know what I mean? And the third thing is to work hard at yourself. Don't think that just because you're awesome and you are, that it doesn't require hard work, that it doesn't require you to stay on your P's and your Q's. Don't think that. It's hard. It's hard trying to balance how you really are, how you really want to show up in the world with how everybody else sees you and how everybody else feels like you're supposed to show up in the world. That's hard work. But I love the fact that the 10 of Wands comes out during this particular segment because the 10 of Wands is about the ending of a hard time. So Spirit might be telling me right now that you're getting ready to enter the peaceful part of it. You're getting ready to enter into the peace. I'll say it like this because this is what's, oh my gosh. Listen, it is the ending of a hard time. This is for somebody. When you go through this process to transition the way you think into who you actually are, you will experience bliss in your life. Look at how we began. We began with Spirit talking about brokenheartedness and hardship and trying to figure out how to come through a place where you don't really know where you're going. You don't really understand where you are. Trying to overcome, toxicities and addictions or burdens, feeling disenfranchised from the people that you know and love and things that you really cared about, into transitioning how you see those things, how to alchemically transform that darkness into light. When you can transform the darkness of your past into light, Spirit is getting ready to pour upon you the sun. The sun is bliss. It is literally the happiest card in the tarot deck, my love. I'm talking to somebody. This is for you, baby. This is for you. And as a final outcome, which I really don't know if I should even look for another outcome after you get the sun. Look at you. Finally. Getting to the point where you will stand in your power, where you will be able to effortlessly transform your darkness into the light of day, where you are at one with your intuitive gifts, where you really, really live in your compassion and your love, and you don't mind sitting on your throne. You don't mind sitting on a throne of exception, exceptional light, exceptional joy, that you don't mind all the eyes on you because you have learned to set the proper boundaries so that they cannot encroach upon your throne. We each have a throne, and we each have the responsibility of protecting the throne. We each have, listen, we each have the responsibility of manifesting our lives and setting boundaries from people. Okay? We each have that. So Spirit just gave me a whole rundown of your life, whoever you are, baby. Whoever you are, you have come a mighty long way. Whoever you are, you have come from complete brokenness. You have come from disaster and trauma and drama and toxicity and burden and loss and loneliness. And look at where you are headed. This is for somebody for real, y'all. I don't get these messages for nothing. This is where you headed. When you begin to put the foot down to the ground and start moving in your purpose. Yes, Scorpio, I can see your message. When you start moving in who you are and what you are here to do, bliss is yours. Majesty is yours. Royalty. You will stand in your power, on your throne, with your proper boundaries. Okay? So I don't know who that was for, but Spirit called me on to live just for you. And I'm super proud of you. Whoever you are, I'm proud of you. Here are your messages. This is for that soul. This message is, oh my goodness, look at these messages, okay? True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever lives below the triggers. Oh my gosh. Did I not just say that Spirit wants you to transcend, to alchemically transcend your darkness into light? And you have to do that by digging into your past and feeling those emotions, setting them free, okay? Because they're trapped in here. Energy doesn't die. You know what I mean? You have to draw it out, or you have to transcend it. You have to alchemically change that energy from dark to light, okay? You do that by feeling what it is going on in there. Stop trying to shut it down. You have to, listen, true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever lives below the triggers, okay? You're triggered, you know what I mean? Things can happen and it sets you off, and you don't even take the time to figure out what it is. That is a root there. That is something that is in you that has happened to you that you have not let go of. It is an unresolved emotion. It is an unresolved experience. If you can be triggered, that is something you need to go in and heal. Okay? Hope is the conduit for miracles. Hope is the conduit for miracles. Let me be clear. When you change your vibration, when you raise your vibration, you are now available for miracles. See, the universe is impartial, right? The universe does not care one way or the other. It matches energy. And if you are coming at the universe with low, downtrodden ass energy, you are only going to get more of that. But when you get into the vibration of hope, okay, of love, of joy, of hope, of those things, you are now available for your life to change. No matter what it looks like, you are creating your life. Everything that you see happening is only because that is what you feel you deserve, Almighty One. You are of source energy. You are source energy. Okay? So nothing can happen to you. Nothing is happening to you. You are co-creating your life based on your vibration, based on what's in your subconscious, based on all of that. So if you want to change your life, first thing is to change your vibration, okay? The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am Did I not just say set an intention? Everything that you do, you need to set an intention before you go in and do that thing. Okay? Where you put your attention, where you put your intentions. If you intend to go and act a damn fool, then guess what? That is what's going to happen. But if you intend, if you set your intentions before you do a thing, before you perform a thing, before you say a thing, shut your trap, first of all. But before you start speaking over your life in a haphazard way, set intentions in your mind of what you want to say. Be intentional with your words so that you are not continually creating drama and trauma in your life. Okay. So wow, this is interesting. I got water energy for you. Let me see what this is. Hold on. Where's my, there it is. I got octopus spirit for you. This is the energy that spirit wants you to move in right now. I love these. I don't know them by heart, so I'm going to read it for the animal spirit cards. This is water. Reaching, yearning, boundaries, and direction. Spirit is on your ass. I don't know who you are, baby, but spirit is on your ass right now. This is all tied in, okay? It says the octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Get the fuck out of here. I started out saying that light workers have shitty boundaries. Listen. Paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe it says they believe that's what it means to be close to people. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained, after spending time with somebody or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be very old habit to change. When you're in balance, you feel interested, engaged, and intelligent. When you're out of balance, you feel needy, clingy, and you lack courage. It says to bring into balance, bring some space between you and others to oneself, and use talk therapy. This is tripping me out because I know for a fact that is everything that I said in this reading. The last card that I have for you before we end here is the Angel of Wisdom. It says, through my connection with infinite wisdom, all becomes possible. All things are possible. All that exists flows from the source of divine wisdom. Wisdom emerges in the heart that is opened to itself. We transform attachments and doubts into the certainty that we have known, and all we need to do to tune into the soul. It is possible to have knowledge and know wisdom. Wisdom is a pure quality that comes from the spirit, inspiring loving attitudes and creating abundance moment by moment. You have to dig into the self. You have got to dig into the self and start creating a new experience with your past, with any past trauma or drama that you have felt. Okay? So again, this is just a message that I felt led to get on here and share with you guys. If you have any, you can ask a question, but I don't actually see anybody that purchased any questions. So I'm going to end it here. Okay? I'm going to get back on later tonight and do a question and answer for subscribers. You can ask questions and I'll answer them as long as you either subscribe or donate, because I'm trying to get my channel weight up. In the meantime, I love you all and thank you for spending time with Tarot and Weed. I am Moon Chow Rain, and this has been your Moon at Noon Report.